Hey guys, my name is Will Cabrera.
And I'm Gerry Will.
Welcome back to another episode of Lingual Tingles. This episode is special in that it is your turn again.
It is my turn. I've written some music or recorded some music. It's called Final Escape.
Final Escape,
It's
I like
called
that.
Alright, here's Final Escape.
Final Destination Part 5.
See what you think.
Let's go.
And that's it.
Okay. I've titled this One Man's Final Escape. The morning sun slithered into his room. It snaked its way up his body. Between the snow-caked bars of his cell, the scent of breakfast crept in behind the new day's light. He stirred. He opened his eyes to the truth he had been trying to escape from. He was imprisoned. He brought his hands up to his face. They were rough against his face. They had become his father's hands now. As he pushed himself into a sitting position, his thoughts traveled from his father's gentle manner to his son's screaming. What would my father think of this situation, he thought. He breathed in the smells of the morning from the cell's window. He pulled himself up to look outside. The snow had made the bars slippery. This is my life now. He pulled his blanket up and wrapped it around himself. The cell was a simple cube with a cot of leather for a bed. The lone window was set opposite the heavy wooden door that was the only way in and out of the room. These 4 stone walls. These were not the rice paper and wood walls of his family's home. There was no comfort to be found here for him. My family, he felt sick in his stomach. He had been thinking about himself since they arrested him. His family must have been in as much, if not more, pain. Step away from the door, the guard's voice snapped him back from his worries. The sound of the metallic keys jingled from beyond the door. The loud thunking of the tumblers being pushed into place were quickly drowned out in the creaking of the door opening. The guard stood in the doorway for a moment. There was a bucket in his left hand. His lamellar armor was adorned with the city's colors, blue, aquamarine, and red tiger's eye. There was no katana or wakizashi on his belt, a peasant militia. He had no visible weapons of any kind. Brought you a bucket of water. There was a hint of distaste in the guard's voice. He placed the bucket just inside the room. He nodded, a formality that showed he still respected the prisoner, in some capacity, and then he closed the door. The man in the cell looked out the window. The day had just started. A blanket of white powder stretched out across his view of the city. A spider's web of snow-capped trees lined the street towards his family's estate. Another tendril was being torn apart by vendors brushing the snow away from their steps and into the streets. Small clumps of solid dew on the gray strands of the now visible cobblestone streets underneath that lined the route to Merchant Row. The man stepped over to the bucket. His reflection betrayed his memories of what he looked like. His mustache and beard were not his own. Another gift from my father. He took a deep breath. He tried to push away the memory of the magistrate coming into his home. He tried to push away the memory of his wife screaming as they took the man into custody. He even tried to push away the memory of his son's screams, his little boys pleading for them not to take his father away. He tried. In trying to not do what his heart knew he had to do, he inevitably thought back to his sentencing. He thought about how they brought him before his family's daimyo. He thought about how they accused him of betraying his honor and his family name. He thought about the woman who had set this all in motion and how his wife would never want to see him again. He thought about every choice he had made, every decision that led him to this room, that had led him to this conclusion that freedom is a mental state and not entirely physical. Freedom is a gift I will give to myself, he thought. It will not be his father's gift. It will not be his wife's gift. It will be his gift. He brought himself down to kneel before the bucket. He cupped his hand and dipped it into the cold water. He smiled. He brought his hand up and drank the sample. He lowered his face towards his reflection. I forgive you, he whispered. He nodded at his father's reflection of his face. He dropped his head into the bucket. The water rose up as his head dived into what had become a wooden helmet. Water spilled out over the edge. Escape, he thought, as the water spread out over the stone floor. The guard that would find his body kneeled at the doorway to show the broken samurai some modicum of respect. A simple gesture that the man in the cell would never see. The end.
Yeah, I was still processing the ending there.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for continuing to watch the show. We're here for you guys if you ever need us.
Also, don't forget to leave comments about anything you'd like to leave comments about down below. Give us a thumbs up. Go to social media. Find us on social media. Like us.
Please like us. If you like us, I know, and I think you will like us.
Yeah, and like us in real life as well. I mean, we hope you do.
We need friends.
And lastly,
stay tuned for the next episode. As always, you guys are the bomb diggity. If people still use that, I don't know. We'll brush up on our lingo. Yeah. But thanks for watching as always, and we will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.